Hey, welcome to our Sunday preview for this first Sunday in Lent. And we have a reading from St. Matthew's Gospel. And it says, "At that time, Jesus was led by the Spirit into the desert to be tempted by the devil. He fasted for 40 days and 40 nights, and afterwards he was hungry. The tempter approached him and said, 'If you are the Son of God, command that these stones become loaves of bread.' And he said in reply, 'It is written, one does not live on bread alone, but on every word that comes from the mouth of God.' Then the devil took him to the holy city and made him stand in the parapet of the temple and said to him, 'If you are the Son of God, throw yourself down, for it is written, he will command his angels concerning you, and with their hands they will support you, lest you dash your foot against a stone.' Jesus answered him, 'Again it is written, you shall not put the Lord your God to the test.' And the devil took him up to a high mountain and showed him all the kingdoms of the world and all their magnificence. And he said to him, 'All these I shall give to you, if you will prostrate yourself and worship me.' And Jesus said, 'Get away from me, Satan. It is written, the Lord your God shall you worship, and him alone shall you serve.' And then the devil left him, and behold, the angels came and ministered to him." The Gospel of the Lord. Well, we always start off the first Sunday of Lent with one of the versions of the temptation in the desert. And this comes after Jesus' baptism, and he goes out to the desert for 40 days to do penance, to prepare himself for his public mission. Now that he's been baptized, and now John will be arrested and put in prison and executed, Jesus' mission begins. But it's a sign that whenever we're on mission, whenever we're active in our faith, there's going to be temptations. There's going to be the devil trying to stop us. And in Jesus' case, he faces these three classic temptations. First, a temptation to turn the stone into a loaf of bread. And that's a temptation to comfort and pleasure and cutting yourself some slack. We all face that, and we need that discipline to be able to stay focused on the mission that God has for us. And when Jesus rejects that temptation, and the devil comes back and promises him all the kingdoms of the world if he'll just bow down and obey him. And that's a temptation to pride, right? To be in control, to have everybody do what you say, to have power. And we're all susceptible to that, especially as we get older. Our pride grows, and we think we deserve more, and we think we should be listened to and paid attention to, and we need to keep growing in humility. And then the final temptation, where he takes Jesus up on the parapet of the temple and says, "Throw yourself down." That for Jesus was the temptation, just to make a big show of things, right? To overwhelm people with maybe miracles that would razzle-dazzle them. And that's the temptation of vanity. And that's something we all have to be on guard for, especially when we're successful. To show off, to worry about the applause of people rather than to please God and him alone. And so as we get into our Lenten season, let's remember these three main temptations of love of comfort or lust, pride, and vanity. The devil's never going to stop. It says at the end here that the devil left him to return at the appointed hour, and that would be the Garden of Gethsemane. The devil doesn't stop until we die.